London, England, on the banks of the River Thames, in the shadow of Tower Bridge. Is a tale of great struggle, tragic love, and evil doings in the fabled Tower of London. Over the centuries, the Tower has been a royal residence, a backdrop for pageants, a stronghold for the crown jewels, an armory, and even a zoo. But it has also served more sinister ends as a prison, a torture chamber, and a place of execution. This is where beautiful Queen Anne Boleyn met a tragic end, in the Bloody Tower. The young queen, Anne Boleyn, is the bride of King Henry VIII. On a May morning in 1536, Queen Anne, just 29 years old, crosses the Tower Green. She looks around, hoping perhaps for a last-minute reprieve. But there is none. Anne Boleyn is on her way to the scaffold. This will be the first execution of a Queen of England. She stands guilty of adultery and treason, but her real crime is the crime of love. Anne Boleyn, the spirited daughter of a silk merchant, spends 2 years in France learning to be a lady. She is just 15 when she takes her place in London as one of the most beguiling young women in the country. King Henry and Anne play by the hour, seemingly unconcerned that Henry is married. A boisterous, robust sportsman, he is completely smitten with the dashing maiden. He showers Anne with gifts and promises to make her his queen. But first, he must be rid of the queen that he already has. The Pope refuses to dissolve the marriage, and Henry lashes out. No one, not even the Pope, says no to this fiery, headstrong monarch. Henry divorces the Queen and secretly marries Anne Boleyn. The marriage tears the Catholic Church apart. Henry declares himself head of a new church, the Church of England. Catholic clergy and nobility who remain loyal to the Pope are banished from the kingdom or sent to the Tower to face the executioner. Yet the palace at Hampton Court overflows with love. Anne presents Henry with a beautiful red-haired daughter, Elizabeth, and the king is pleased. It means his new queen may soon deliver the child he really wants, a son and heir. But the young queen has a sharp tongue and a haughty manner. She makes enemies among the nobility. They whisper that she has an eye for young men. At first, Henry dismisses the gossip, but Anne fails to give him a son. He's 42, an angry tyrant used to getting his own way. He begins to see Anne as he saw his first wife, an obstacle to be cast aside. It now suits him to believe the gossip. Barely 3 years after her marriage, Anne is arrested. She enters the Tower through the dreaded Traitor's Gate. She never sees freedom again. At the trial, Anne is denounced for her frail and carnal lusts. She's accused of having affairs with 6 men and of treason for saying that she would marry a young man when the king dies. On the scaffold, the executioner begs Anne's pardon, telling the queen he's been ordered to do his duty. She forgives him and hands him 20 pounds. The grim custom of the day requires the condemned to pay the executioner. Anne speaks to the witnesses. "Good Christian people, I am come hither to die, for according to the law and by the law, I am judged to die." She does not admit guilt. Anne kneels, softly murmuring a Latin prayer. On manus tuas, Domine, into thy hands, O Lord. By prearrangement, the executioner's assistant distracts Anne. The stroke is swift. The day after Anne's beheading, Henry VIII announces his engagement to Jane Seymour. In all, he has 6 wives and dies bloated and miserable at the age of 56. The tempestuous union between Henry and Anne lives on in their daughter Elizabeth. 20 years after the execution, Elizabeth I ascends to the throne. Her reign is among the greatest in history. Anne Boleyn never leaves the Tower of London. To this day, her body remains entombed in a small chapel near the place of her execution. A memorial to love gone tragically wrong.